welcome to another interview with Ryan Balkwill, the author of RDB Reviews, WordPress.com.
Which is titled Streaming Summer, Part 1.
I can see characters with guns. I can see South Park Season 23 listed. I can see Scoob. That's a really cool drawing, Ryan. I love the colours.
I think that's meant to be like me holding my controller.
I'm thinking about Monday Night Raw from last week where men had guns, so that's what I see now. But it's Ryan with his remote. Excellent.
Thank you. Oh yeah, and my dog, yes. I done my review for the WWE Network on here. Thoughts on the network and my pros and cons. And also my recommendations.
WWE Network post by Ryan.
And the thing that you told me on Wednesday, I used that. And I use it then mostly on recommendations.
Ryan has added a lot of graphics to his WWE Network blog post, and Ryan has given a description for each of these logos, each of these presentation pictures, and if not all of them, a lot of them link to videos or websites. So Ryan has made it very interactive. So if you want to know about WCW, you can come here and you can press the WCW button and it will take you to the WWE Network. So that's fantastic, Ryan. Well done.
Oh yeah, and that last one you see there, which is the advertisement for the Big Show, some sitcom on Netflix, family sitcom called The Big Show Show.
The Big Show Show.
The first one we talk about today is the new Scooby-Doo movie.
Okay, cool.
Titled Scoob.
Scoob. So Ryan is discussed as one of those films that was delayed releasing because of the global pandemic, but he's seen it now.
Okay, for digital.
All right, so Ryan would like to start discussing Scoob.
Yep.
Scooby-Doo.
Yep. Where are you?
Ryan lists this as a action and adventure animation comedy directed by Tony Savone. No, Scooby-Doo is a cartoon character and he has been brought to the big screen yet again in CGI, I'm guessing.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so the plot for this film, Ryan says, Scoob reveals how lifelong friends Scooby and Shaggy first met and how they joined with young detectives Fred, Velma and Daphne to form the famous Mystery Inc. Now with hundreds of cases solved and adventures shared, Scooby and the gang face their biggest, most challenging mystery ever, a plot to unleash the ghost dog Cerberus upon the world. As they race to stop this global dog-pocalypse, the gang discovers that Scooby has a secret legacy and an epic destiny greater than anyone imagined. That is a tall order for Scooby-Doo, man. Ryan says I was excited for this new Scooby-Doo movie. I think this was not the Scooby-Doo film I want, but what we got instead was well worth to rent on my Sky Q box. Pros, all of the performances from the voice casts are well handled. The animation was really stylish, colourful and very cartoonish, but that's good. A lot of great gags. The film is fast-paced. I enjoy the interaction with Scooby, Shaggy and the other characters. The film was so faithful to the original Scooby-Doo series and a true celebration of the Hanna-Barbera brand and the main message of the power of friendship to play a pinnacle role in the film. The cons. At times they do skip through a lot of things in this film. There is not a lot of mystery in solving mysteries that much, and the film climax were predictable. So it's almost like it missed the mark, Ryan. It's meant to be about solving a mystery, isn't it?
Oh yeah, but that's the one thing the one first thing I will say about this film is feel different from your traditional Scooby-Doo movie that you see 1,000 times already.
Fair dues. If you've seen the cartoon, pretty formulaic. It repeats a pattern. Yeah.
Yeah. Of like, we catch the ghost, I'm Martin, and say, you meddling kids, you dumb dog.
I got away with it too. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how many times we've heard that before?
This makes me think of Monsters University, where they decide we want to do the backstory of the younger versions of them. Does it feel like it's copying that film?
No, really. To be honest, when I finally watched it, which for some reason I made a big error of just ordering that one instead of reading it out properly.
Okay.
So instead we had to wait for a little while before we get it on Amazon Prime, which we managed to do.
Okay.
Yep, and we finally did watch it.
I think it was a good film.
Oh God, yeah, very enjoyable, yeah. Probably a lot of Scooby-Doo fans not gonna find this one. And like, where does Mystery Inc? Where's the mystery behind all this? But overall, I thought this film was like, almost like a straight-up superhero film in a way.
This plot sounds very epic. It almost sounds like it's from the MCU.
Yeah, so most of the focus of the film is on Scooby and Shaggy and their relationship. And you've got very surprising characters from the Hanna-Barbera universe.
Ryan mentions that it's true celebration of the Hanna-Barbera brand. So I was going to ask you about that. So please continue.
Yeah, they got one like the Blue, probably names you never heard of, in quite a long while. Blue Falcon, Huckleberry Hound. Well, not Huckleberry Hound. His trusted sidekick. God, such a long time since I saw the end nose. Don't know about, that's it, that's the name. Just come back to me.
Oh, you're always so good with the names, Ryan. Well done.
Thank you. They got Daphne from Captain K-Man and the Teen Angels.
Yeah.
Which, instead of like solving mysteries, which that show is basically another Scooby-Doo clone. Instead of Scooby-Doo is a caveman. They're basically like they're basically like S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
Instead of like, we are hunting supernatural and human beings, they're like superheroes trying to save the world.
Oh, they're going around.
Yeah, pretty much. Blue Falcon, voiced by Mark Wahlberg,
Yeah.
and Dynamite is voiced by Ken Yeun from other films.
I did skip the cast, and it's likely that they've got some big names. This is fantastic. So we've got Mark Wahlberg, Jason Isaacs, Gina Rodriguez, Zac Efron, Amanda Seyfried, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, Ken Jeong, Tracy Morgan, Frank Welker, Ian Armitage, McKenna Grace, Piers Gagnon, Ariana Greenblatt, Simon Cowell, Christina Hendricks, Henry Winkler, Harry Perry, John DiMaggio, Kevin Heffernan, Ira Glass, Henry Kaufman, Maya Erskine, and Billy West. So that's a big cast, Ryan.
Yes, and the big, when I say it's a celebration of Hanna-Barbera characters.
Yeah.
Which they did add like a small appearance from Captain Caveman.
That's who I thought you were referring to with the caveman. Yeah.
Which is actually character accurate. They're like on the nose there from like the curly down hair, skin from the club. That Caveman.
Captain Caveman! And you can only see his nose, so that was a good reference, Ryan. Yeah.
Yes. And he's not in the film that much. But
Cameo.
he does, like a guest appearance. Which he's just there to like do his famous trademark help with the team and also saying Captain Caveman catchphrase.
Yeah.
Without being held commission through the rest of the film.
Misleading, Ryan. I want to almost attack it and then have you defend it. So it's called Scoob, and so clearly it's about Scooby-Doo, and you would expect it to have Shaggy, and then maybe the rest of them. But then for it to be other Hanna-Barbera characters, that's obviously a good thing, but it's a bit misleading, maybe.
Well, yeah, but I think this film is meant to be like another shared universe with all the Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
It's clever because the MCU has proved that you can have all these characters on screen at the same time and it works.
Yeah.
And they've got, like with Wacky Races, they've got all these characters that they can have interact if they want to. So, great.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I feel like the real strong point is about the power of friendship.
Oh.
About like, definitely with the main villain of the film, Dick Dastardly.
Excellent. Fantastic.
Voiced by Jason Isaac.
Yeah. Do you know, as soon as I read Jason Isaacs, I figured he was a bad guy. Yeah.
Which he was so good. It's like, honestly, if they're like Dick Dastardly brought together into the modern age.
Yeah. He's a
From
good actor.
He trademarked black beard for the in his red gloves and for his like little sidekick, Muttley.
Hey.
Yeah.
Asher.
Which is very accurate.
So on your review, you have a little picture of a baby-looking Scoob. Almost worried me. I thought that was Scrappy-Doo, who I don't like. Is it human actors, real people, with the CG animals and CG Hanna-Barbera characters? Captain Caveman, is he computer-generated?
Oh yeah, definitely computer-generated. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. And sadly, they didn't have a lot of other characters to show in the film. No Flintstones or like everyone else or Hong Kong Fury.
It maybe for their story, it doesn't make sense that the Flintstones are in it, but it does make sense for Blue Falcon, Dastardly and Muttley to be around at the same time in the same universe as Scooby-Doo.
Oh yeah, pretty much. But I will say my cons about it is there's not that much of Fred, Daphne and Velma in it, except for like being fooled into a trap by the Darcy and his goon, which they had no motivation other than they're part of Mystery Inc., so let's keep them in the film.
They almost didn't know what to do with them, maybe, the other characters, because it was never about them, really. It mostly followed Scoob and Shaggy, but this film didn't care about recreating the cartoon.
Yeah, they didn't feel like that, no. And none at all. The last thing I will say about the cons is I felt the ending was a bit lame and a pretty cheap cop-out.
Yeah.
Which I won't spoil for you.
No. But I would like to say, we were speaking about these films that set up characters. Like, my example was Hellboy, and I loved the beginning of Hellboy, but the bad guy was just rubbish. It didn't matter to me what it was or whether they won. So I hope that Dick Dastardly and Muttley make for good bad guys. But maybe it's all about, Ryan, the beginning and the middle of the film, and at the end it just loses its way. Do you think?
Oh yeah, pretty much. But by the end, Dick Dastardly and Muttley, from when you actually well known for Dick Dastardly and Muttley, they do like get away with a lot of their stuff at times. Like, see ya guys, we get away with all the treasure.
Bye, suckers.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is interesting me, Ryan, as in they've formed this SHIELD organization, as you say. They've had Dick Dastardly. Do you think this is setting it up for franchise?
Well, sort of, yeah. In terms of like how much it does in digital home release.
We're hoping for cinema release, so they're going to have to bank the success of this on streaming. Yeah. And if it makes the money back, then they can think about doing that again. That's really interesting again.
Yeah, definitely now. Everything needs to be digital.
The voice cast, Ryan, you've given a lot of detail about who plays who.
Yes.
Ryan recommends this on Sky Q for renting and rates it for anyone who is a fan of the Scooby-Doo or Hanna-Barbera franchise. Ryan rates this 3.5 out of 5, which is a very considered rating, Ryan. So it's not perfect, but it's better than you thought it would be.
Oh, yeah. I will say one thing. Simon Cowell.
Why is he in this?
Bell.
I'm glad to hear that.
But they did done really well with his animation model.
Right.
You feel like actual Simon Cowell.
All right.
What do you actually think of him? From his hair, from his suit, swagger.
He's the first investor in Mystery Inc. I see. That makes kind of sense.
He didn't take part. He just there in the opening scene with all the game and having snacks.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like the idea of him muscling into a film like this. He doesn't deserve it.
But he carried on with his usual swag, as in what he does on the X Factor.
Yeah, so they're having fun with that.
Giving them horse we are. That is rubbish. You're not good. Goodbye.
Fair enough. I always think it's a shame when they do that because that's going to date the film quite badly. I mean, in 10 years' time, it's possible no one will know or care who Simon Cowell is. And people will be like, what's that in the film for? So that's almost, that's playing to now, but unnecessary.
Well, not right now for him. Definitely when he needs to go to the hospital, back surgery.
I heard about that. My thoughts are with him. No one deserves to break their back. I just don't know about him being in a Scooby-Doo movie. That's a bit weird.
I know, very weird, but I still recommend it.
Good, man, good. I would have very low expectations of a film like this, Ryan. I would go in happy if it just had Scooby-Doo, you know, and it looked like a dog. That would be enough for me.
Yeah. But, yeah, I think it's I recommend it. So anyone who was a fan of Scooby-Doo or seen all the straight-to-DVD animated features for years, or the live-action movies.
Are all the characters computer-generated? It's a CG movie.
Oh yeah, it feels like definitely CG movie, like a live cartoon.
But there are no live actors in it.
No.
I think that's good. I don't like it when they do humans and a CGI dog. But I think it works better if everyone has the same cartoon style or, you know, like The Incredibles or something. It makes it more believable if everything looks the same.
It doesn't mean to be real, but sometimes, for the right amount, I think it can go either way. Like example, the first Lego movie, that one with Will Ferrell on, I guess it probably is his son, that was handled beautifully.
And that was a real Will Ferrell with a stop-motion Lego figure, was it? Or
yeah, like a stop-motion Lego figure. And I think the little boy probably might be his son, or probably someone else they just hired.
right.
The set, who knows? Yeah, I thought it was handled brilliantly.
Cool. So coming back to this, Ryan, when was this released? When was it available?
It was released until May in the cinema, but until this coronavirus happens, no one probably will be seeing this in the cinema. Mm-hmm. So they're like, okay, we got to get like everything. We'll have it all planned in May, move them all straight to stream.
Yeah.
Immediately.
But this was released quite recently, or it's been out for a while? Do you know?
A little while now, until about July. I think it's right next to other releases back in May, like Trolls World Tour was no good, The King of the Pacific Islands, and This Way Back, Ben Affleck.
Okay. And I'm wondering now, how can we tell the success of this film? Maybe if we give it a month or two, because obviously with streaming, it's just there forever. So it's not like it's in the cinema for a certain number of weeks, and then you can see how well it did in the cinema. How can we see how successful this film has been monetarily, do you think?
They could probably look at this film, as in the people who charge of making it, and they just no. This didn't make enough money for us, so let's move on to the next big thing.
I suppose if we see a sequel, we will know that it made its return. That will be the test, because if it works, make more.
Yeah, only time will tell. Only time will tell.
Right. Glad that you enjoyed that one.
The next one is straight from Netflix, Warrior Nun Season 2, which is the oldest idea for a superhero I have ever heard of, ever.
I have seen a bit of this. I didn't know it was called Warrior, but yeah, I'm aware of this now. So, wonderful picture. Ryan has got this amazing graphic of the protagonist. She is endowed with powers and she's kind of a nun, but she also doesn't want to be a nun. I'll let you speak on it, Ryan, because you've seen it. But if I read this quickly, then we have the background. So it's a fantasy drama, supernatural, occult, detective, superhero genre created by Simon Barry. The cast is Alba Batista, Toya Turner, Lorena Andrea, Christina Tonteri Young, and Tristan Ulloa. Speaking up in a morgue, an orphaned teen discovers she now possesses superpowers as the chosen halo bearer for a secret sect of demon-hunting nuns. I was looking forward to this new show to see what it was all about. My binge-watch experience of this show was really well delighted. Good for you. The first thing, this is the pros, the first thing I like to gift port to the concept of this show, I ended up liking the main characters. The theme music helped make this show stand out other comic book adaptations, and at times this show can get weird and bizarre, which is good, because it keeps you watching to see what's going to happen in season 2. Maybe. Cons, the special effects weren't that great. The pacing were too slow to keep me invested in the show. You've rated this 7 out of 10, so we're positive about this one.
Yeah, I did thought it was that bad of a show, but I will say I was impressed of the subject matter of is an orphan who is caused by the death of his mother in a car accident that caused her to lose the wheel in her legs.
Mm-hmm.
So basically paralyzed to a wheelchair and basically should have probably died, but they give her one chance to live his life again, which is like a magical artifact and place it back on, which is actually awful, and now she can walk again.
And more than that, she can do all sorts of things. She can go through walls. She's got some kind of electric power. I'm making it up now. I know that she's got powers anyway.
Yeah.
And she's kind of the chosen one, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's the one that they're hoping will defeat all the demons, but she's not particularly keen on all that. She's not sure if she wants to.
No, not really. But I did like how sometimes you try to interact with other people, and this black girl trying to indict her back into the crew.
She becomes her friend, yeah.
Yeah. And I thought it fascinating.
Yeah.
Sometimes I didn't know if she's gonna at some point in the series double cross her or just realise you are special. You're a nun. Like the Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, exactly. It does make being a nun seem a lot more exciting than it probably is.
But again, there'll be the back story of the history of warrior nun mythology.
Okay, nun mythology.
Which is the weirdest idea of a superhero I ever heard of in my life.
This reminds me of I think it's a John Carpenter film called Vampires with, the actor's name's gone out of my head. Anyway, there was a film in the early 90s, where there's a warrior guy who is killing demons and he works for a bishop, and it's lots of swearing and sex and cigarette smoking and Catholicism. And you just think, fine, okay. So there's a history of making Catholicism cool and making it fight demons, which to me makes sense. I would understand there being all this organization.
So yeah, and the only criticism I have of this is the overall, the actual pacing of the show.
It's quite slow, is it?
Yeah, some moments, actually no, 2 moments, so many moments in it are just so draggy so much.
Yeah.
It's you're oh.
I mean, it's almost like a teen drama. It's about her overcoming her internal demons and deciding what she wants to do with her life. And she's got a lot of stigma, which is a sort of religious word. She basically, the head nun doesn't trust her, doesn't think that she's the right stuff, and she has to prove herself. And so it's about her coming to terms with stuff. So in that sense, it can be slow because there's a lot of talking, but would you watch a season 2?
Well, yeah, just to see what happened, because by the end, when they were about to enter in this final battle, demon nuns, it just cut off.
Right.
Gave the black.
Now, that wasn't to do with COVID, was it? Because we were talking about Flash and we were talking about Supergirl and how they both had to end prematurely because they couldn't continue filming. So did this finish filming before the lockdown?
Well, I don't think so. I think it's more a line of, let's just save this classic about something very special. It's all about the story. I think save this something very special for next season.
Yeah.
Actually do get season 2 started.
Excellent. It's a traditional cliffhanger. Because there's an element this year to cliffhangers. You're literally like, I don't know if we're going to see any more of this. It makes it more exciting almost.
Indeed.
And I got a final question, Ryan. You can speak more on this if you want. Did you choose to watch this just because it's called Warrior Nun?
Oh, yes, I chose this one, yes.
I was just thinking that's the marketing people are like Warrior Nun, and people are going to have to tune in to see what that is.
Oh, yeah. And also, yeah, because Netflix are like, brings every new stuff like every week. It's like, okay, what they got next week? You got this one. Okay, let's try that.
It confuses me a bit because they want people to watch a program all the way through. But like you say, they're always releasing new things. So you might feel pressure to jump onto something new.
Like a sample this weekend, they do releasing Project Power, starring Jamie Foxx.
Cool.
Yeah. And a slew of big crossover ones with all their family sitcoms on the service. Yep, that's pretty much it. I think people need to give this one a shot if you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, then give it a rest.
Yeah. How many episodes in the first series, Ryan?
I think it's about 10.
Right, so it's, again, like we said with Space Force, it's not a big commitment. It's a slow burn, so give it maybe 5 episodes if you can spare the time and see what you think.
Yeah.
I like the idea. Not sure if I'd watch it, but...
I've just been poor because of Molly, my dog, screaming.
You're doing very well, Ryan.
She's on a wild ride today. Let's go straight to South Park 23.
Okay, I'm going to try and find it as quick as I can. So we are hopefully finished our South Park soon because we've been on this for about 3-4 months now. So, animated sitcom drama by Trey Parker and Matt Stone, directed by or developed by Brian Graydon. Can I read the plot to this, Ryan?
Go on then.
Cartman, Kenny and Stan steal faces from Sheila in exchange for the new Star Wars game. Scott Melkinson's hopes of romance with new girl Sophie depend on him getting the streaming platform Disney+, but Scott's dad, Clark, embarks on a mission to stop streaming shows in South Park. Ryan says, I was looking forward to this season earlier this year to see what was got in store. This season was pretty good. The pros, what I did enjoy from this season is they put Randy front and center, the main focus of this season. I was not a fan of the new opening intro for this season, but over time I did appreciate it throughout. A few jokes did make me laugh. Kyle got back his mojo from previous seasons. And this season's surprising appearance from surprising characters. Cons. Some of the episodes can be benefited from their ideas better as the B-plot for this instead of one-off episodes. The season went too much screen time on Randy and his integrity farms, and I was pretty annoyed with Marsh's parents being unhappy with Randy, trying to make his business work so he can support his family. Ryan recommends watching this one.
You can see this better immediately. You probably can see clips of this season. Their YouTube channel, their Comedy Central YouTube channel.
Well done.
Thank you. Or their South Park channel.
Yeah. So there's YouTube, but there's Comedy Central website if you're in America. I believe if you're in the UK or out of the States, there are other ways you can see it, as Ryan has. But you have it on DVD, I'm guessing, as well.
Well, not yet, but I will get it at some point, yeah.
This one's quite new. Okay. So, Ryan, you've rated it 7 out of 10. That's good. Too much rant, and you wish that it followed, if the plots followed through the series rather than being one-off episodes. So tell me about South Park 23, Ryan.
Okay then. First one, Randy was definitely front and center of this whole scene, trying to keep his weed empire afloat.
Yes.
Even the help of his co-worker, Callie.
Yeah.
Which he's still high a lot of time this season.
they say you shouldn't get high on your own supply. So I can't imagine it's very useful for business.
And they do copy, they do like a lot of it, like kidnapped by the Mexicans. I think it's because of this Mexican Joker, which is making a homage to the 2019 Joker film.
Right, yes, yes.
Yeah, and I think it's like focused on Cartman, like just being Cartman, just basically being a dick.
But he's back, where we've gotten rid of the love interest for Cartman. He's just himself again.
Yeah, himself again, indeed. So basically, yeah, Wendy is like front and centre this season. Like it gets in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. Now you won't plot spoil because you're very good. But I want to ask you, Ryan. You mentioned OxyContin that Stan was selling or dealing when we spoke about this before. So it's all kind of drug related. Is it about people getting addicted to the opioids?
Well, yeah, definitely get opioids, and definitely like in one episode, I think they got a clip of this on their YouTube channel, their South Park or YouTube channel, whatever one you choose.
Okay.
It's got one instance they tried a couple of his mates over for a party in the farmhouse, and all of a sudden they try some of it, and abruptly just turn into like the parody of The Walking Dead. Instead of the walkers, like if they're like special new weed, they'll turn them into actual zombies.
Right, yeah.
Even they turn Winnie the Pooh into one. Yeah, they turn Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, I think it's the original voice actor.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
good impression. So Winnie the Pooh becomes a drug addict, and is it weed mixed with OxyContin? Because you said OxyContin weed before.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Intriguing. It's about drug addiction. Okay.
Yeah. And also I think they made this version Winnie the Pooh and a more darker version of their sweet, lovable cartoon counterparts.
Brilliant. I want to mention Mickey Mouse quickly. If you remember the episode with the Jonas Brothers, and Mickey Mouse is really mean, horrible.
Yes. Mickey's back in this.
Oh, good. Yeah,
only
he's terrifying.
Only for one episode.
Okay.
Which is like piss off and like, I am pissed down. Star Wars is like the Japanese, piss of the Japanese, are stealing their money from them. And they had like everyone in assembly from characters from Star Wars, Marvel and Disney.
Yeah.
For Captain America, Donald Trump. Yeah, all those ones, they just don't do anything.
Right. But Disney is like the evil corporation because they own everything. So it's great that South is going back to that.
Yeah, that's what that's their version of Disney in this show, yes. A evil organisation. And first of all, back to Wendy's sake. And he gets arrested for probably from selling weed or cotton, basically because one of the family's kids dead, which he brought the blame on him and sent to prison. Throughout this season, it's like a redemption story of like, I agreed to not do like OxyContin ever again, and only like treated respectfully and run as a business to keep their family afloat. And he tried to do that by help of some of the most powerful people in the world.
Can you give example?
Yeah, like President Garrison.
Yeah, well done.
And Rubio.
Marco Rubio, yeah.
No.
Sorry.
Marco Rubio, yeah. The guy from...
He's Republican. He ran for president, and he's probably got something to say about drugs. Bad, you know.
Yeah, but this one will actually do say anything. He just smile.
Yeah, I think that's all he's capable of doing, really.
And to feel like something in order to get a plea bargain from the president to be get out of this situation.
Cool.
Yeah, which is go through a journey of self-discovery, realising he's just doing all this for himself.
Randy is this.
Yeah, Randy, yeah.
Yeah.
And decided we're going to do this as a family.
Okay. Randy is often the one who goes through a learning process.
Yeah.
And as you say, redemption. Well, this sounds like quite a cautionary tale. And Randy is a great one to do that with because he's so innocent. He's so sweet. He often gets it wrong, but then learns from his mistakes.
Yeah, but sometimes he just lost it bonkers.
Absolutely. Ryan, I'm really sorry to declare this, man. If you want to say more about South Park, we could pick it up again next Monday, but we're out of time now.
That's
so
okay.
we have to
I was just going to quickly say, if you read down, there's a little thing there. I'll say, thank you so much for all your patience of me talking about all 23.
It's very sweet of you, Ryan. So Ryan's signed off. Ryan Balkwill, resident TV reviewer, Level West Art Cafe, and he says, thank you for being patient, listening to my reviews of all 23 seasons of South Park. Thank you so much. Ryan, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking South Park with you. I feel so knowledgeable about it now, and we look forward to seeing the next season if they get to make it next year.
Yeah, or probably review part 2 of our streaming summer.
Fantastic. So more summer streaming summer from Ryan next week. Ryan, thank you ever so much, and we'll speak to you again next week.
Yeah, see ya.
Thank you, mate. Bye.